Gloria Gaither stood beside her husband Bill as the soulful heart of gospel music. But now, with a fragile voice and tearful honesty, she is bidding farewell, not just to the stage, but perhaps to the world she has inspired for decades. At 82, Gloria has shared an emotional message that signals a significant turning point in her journey. In a recent video released by the Gaither Music Group, Gloria appeared visibly moved as she expressed gratitude to fans for their love and support over the years. "There comes a time," she said, her voice trembling, "when you feel a gentle tug on your heart, a sense that God is calling you to a quieter season." Though she did not say the word retirement, it's clear she intends to step away from public appearances, shifting her focus to family, writing, and quiet reflection. For over 6 decades, Gloria Gaither has been much more than the wife of gospel music icon Bill Gaither. She is the poetic voice and theological depth behind many of the most cherished songs in Christian music. Born Gloria Sickle on March 4, 1942, in Michigan, she was raised in a home rooted in Christian faith and intellectual curiosity. Her love for writing and language blossomed early, eventually leading her to Anderson University in Indiana, where she earned an English degree and met Bill Gaither. The two married in 1962, forming not just a personal union, but one of gospel music's most influential partnerships. While Bill composed melodies, Gloria brought them to life with lyrics that spoke deeply to human struggles and spiritual truths. Her breakout moment came with the beloved hymn "Because He Lives," written during a season of personal anxiety and national unrest. Expecting their third child during the late 1960s, a time marked by the Vietnam War, civil rights protests, and social upheaval, Gloria and Bill were battling exhaustion and doubt. Yet in that storm, Gloria found peace through prayer, and the lyrics to "Because He Lives" were born. Released in 1971, the song became a beacon of hope for millions and remains one of the most powerful Christian hymns ever written. This marked the beginning of Gloria's emergence as a spiritual and literary voice in her own right, co-writing over 700 songs and penning devotionals and essays that shaped the faith of countless believers. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, as the Gaither vocal band rose to prominence and the Gaither Homecoming series gained popularity, Gloria remained the steady, guiding presence behind the scenes. While she rarely held the microphone, her influence was felt in every lyric and every message of hope. She brought a rare blend of literary beauty and theological depth to gospel music, crafting lyrics that resonated with the everyday struggles and joys of life. Gloria also became a mentor to younger artists and a respected speaker at women's conferences. In an industry dominated by performance and often superficiality, Gloria stood apart for her substance, humility, and commitment to living a life of purpose. Gloria's writing always reflected her lived experience. She didn't write from a pedestal. She wrote from the trenches of motherhood, ministry, and personal struggle. She became a voice for Christian women during a time when few had a platform in theological or creative leadership. As an author, she explored topics such as faith, identity, culture, and the silent burdens women carry, offering wisdom that was both poetic and practical. Her deep understanding of the human soul allowed her to speak into pain and joy with equal clarity. She also made a lasting impact on future generations through education and discipleship. Gloria co-founded the Gaither Family Resource Center and helped create the Gaither Homecoming Bible, all while investing personally in mentoring artists, writers, and Christian leaders. Though she was never one to seek fame, those who knew her best recognized the gravity of her soul. Friends and colleagues describe her as a quiet listener, a calming presence, and a woman who brought peace into every room she entered. Her ministry wasn't just through music, it was through the way she lived every day, grounded in faith, compassion, and unwavering love. Gloria's greatest ministry may have been to her own family. She and Bill raised 3 children, Susan, Amy, and Benjamin, in a home filled with music, laughter, long conversations, and spiritual depth. Susan Gaither Jennings worked closely with her parents in ministry operations and songwriting, while Amy Gaither Hayes, a poet, actress, and teacher, followed her mother's literary path, describing their home as one that nurtured curiosity and thoughtful faith. Gloria wasn't just teaching her children to be Christians. She was teaching them to be thinkers, to ask hard questions, and to live their faith with intention. As Gloria Gaither steps into what she calls a quieter season, the legacy she leaves behind is immeasurable. Her songs will continue to be sung in churches, at weddings and funerals, in hospital rooms and family gatherings. But beyond her lyrical brilliance, Gloria's true legacy is one of wisdom, grace, and faithfulness. She showed the world that the most powerful ministry often happens not on the stage, but in the quiet, faithful living of a deeply rooted life. Benjamin Gaither, the youngest of Gloria and Bill's children, followed in his father's musical footsteps as a producer and songwriter. He co-founded Livorn Media and has worked closely with his parents on many of the Gaither homecoming projects. While his musical style leans more contemporary, it still carries the foundational themes his parents built their lives on: truth, family, and faith. All three children speak of their mother with deep reverence, not just as a parent, but as a role model. They remember her patience during the demanding years of touring, her late-night writing sessions after tucking them into bed, and her ability to turn even the smallest moments into spiritual lessons. Family vacations, though modest, were sacred, and Gloria protected that time fiercely, ensuring that her family never felt secondary to the demands of ministry. What stands out in this response is its deep personal nature. Gloria Gaither never sought stardom, but her authenticity made people feel like they knew her. She was the woman who penned the lyrics that mirrored their heartache, who reminded them that God was still in control, and that faith didn't need fanfare to be genuine. In nursing homes, her hymns still play daily. In prison chapel services, they offer comfort. In quiet living rooms, her lyrics remain framed on walls or etched into worn CD covers. And now, as fans say goodbye, not to Gloria's life but to her public presence, they do so with a collective breath of gratitude. She hasn't said this is the end, only that it's time to listen more than speak, to rest more than strive. And even in that, she continues to teach by example. So, while the world lets go of her presence on stage, it holds tightly to the one she built in hearts and homes, a legacy not written in lights but in lyrics, not carved in stone but in souls.